Hi, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Today I want to talk about tips on if you have an interview with Chase coming up for a teller or a social banker position, which is a new name for the teller position. So first of all, I worked at Chase as a teller for 3 years and 9 months. So since I have a really good grasp of what they look for in the position and what the position entails, I want to kind of give tips to anybody who has an interview with Chase coming up. So first of all, congratulations if you have an interview with Chase. It is a huge deal and you want to make sure you are prepared and you are feeling confident to go in there, have the interview, and get the job done. Get the job. Okay, so first of all, the first few tips I want to give are how to go dressed. Working in Chase just in general, it's professional. It's a professional setting, so you want to go in a suit. Chase colors are black, navy, or dark gray. So a suit in any of those colors is fine. Just go as professional as you can. So next, you want to make sure you have at least 2 to 3 copies of your resume printed and take it in a portfolio. It's just going to look more professional for you to walk in with a portfolio and resumes in case for some reason if they don't have their resume. So now let's go into how you can prepare for the interview. So the first thing you want to do is you want to research. So right now, by coming into this video, you are doing a great job for researching for your interview. You want to take the next step and research the company, what they're about, what their mission is, what their vision is, what their purpose is, and all that stuff. Their core values. You want to kind of build that into the answers that you give. So the first tip that I have for you to get a job, first of all, is you want to connect with your interviewer in some way. So whenever they ask you to tell me about yourself, which is a question that they ask in almost all interviews in general, which I was asked in my Chase interview as well. You want to obviously tell them about yourself, a little bit of your, professional life also, about your work and stuff like that. And you want to kind of talk about your hobbies because hopefully they might be able to connect and you'll kind of talk about that and it'll go well. So I want to share some questions that I remember them asking me. So of course, tell me about yourself. They asked me what are my strengths and weaknesses. How can people describe me, or what can my coworkers say about me? What is one word that I would use to describe me? And they also asked me, tell me about a time when I went above and beyond with a customer. So just kind of think of that. Make sure you know exactly what you're going to talk about. Make sure you know situational or behavioral questions like, tell me about a time when you had an angry customer, like what did you do? I think that they asked me that one too, because working as a teller, you're going to be dealing with a bunch of customers. Sometimes they're not happy, so they want to make sure that you're able to kind of deal with a situation like that. Another question that I got asked in my interview was, why do you want to work here? And you need to make sure that you know why you want to work there, because if you randomly applied to places and you really didn't expect to get a call back like I did, it can kind of hit you out of nowhere, and you want to make sure that you are ready with an answer. Don't feel that you are not qualified for this position if you feel like you didn't work at a cool place. Before I worked at Chase, I worked at Petco as a cashier. So when I applied at Chase, I actually didn't think I was going to get a call because I was just randomly applying anywhere I could. And I did get a job, and wherever you worked, those skills that you have learned there are transferable. So you want to make sure that whenever you speak about that, you're kind of able to transfer it in a way that you might be able to use it in this position. For example, a question that I got at the Chase interview was, tell me how you are able to make it personal when you are, completing a transaction of a customer, since you have them right there. And my answer was, well, working at Petco, obviously everybody who goes there has a pet. a lot of times they bring their pet with them, so I'm able to connect in that sense because I obviously love animals as well. If they have their dog with them, compliment their animal, as for their name, what breed they are. And that was able to transfer over because it showed that I'm going to make it personal. I'm going to make, a little small talk and like make it a pleasant experience for the customer. So now I'm going to kind of talk about what they look for in their ideal candidate. So things that are really important working at Chase. Number one is customer service. Working at Chase, it's all about servicing your client and making it personal and doing something to kind of like stand out. Not just like an average, oh hi, how are you, whatever, have a good day. You know what I mean? They want you to kind of like make it personal and kind of stand out. Another thing that is huge with Chase is working in a team environment because everybody works together for a common goal, no matter what. Next is cash handling. So for example, I was a cashier, so I had experience in cash handling. So you want to make sure that in whatever job you worked at, that you were kind of good, cash handling. You weren't like always short and stuff like that, because that's very important working as a teller at a bank. Next, you want to be very attention to detail. Huge thing. You want to be able to catch any things that are not correct. Another thing is working under pressure. As a teller, it gets very busy sometimes. You want to make sure that you are able to process transactions quickly and efficiently, minimizing any errors. That's so important in that position, that you are able to complete transactions accurately with no errors. And then of course quickly, because you don't want to have a line. Another thing that I feel like really helped me in my interview is really the questions that you ask. So because you want to make sure that you are going to like your job, you want to ask questions that you are actually curious about. For example, I'm gonna say the ones that I asked at Chase, the ones that I remember. So one of the ones that I asked is, what do you like and dislike most about working with Chase? What are the company's goals for the next 5 years? And what does a typical day look like in this position? For like and dislike, I always like asking that questions because I get a little bit of insight about what the company is like. I get to know like what their favorite thing is working with them, but also what they don't really like that much. And you want to pay attention to what they dislike about the company. What is the company's goals in the next 5 years? That one I feel like is very different, and it's a really good one to ask because it shows that you're not just looking like for a regular job. You know what I mean? Like you're interested in the company and you want to help the company achieve its goals. And then what else did I ask? What a typical day looks like in that position. That one's a really good question because that's what you're going to be doing at the job. So you want to make sure that, you're going to like what you're doing. So another good tip to land a job is to really just, again, connect with your interviewer. And I want to talk about what they look for, apart from just skills, is personality. They want people who, are very bubbly, very positive, and like cheery, because they want you to, again, create a pleasant experience for the customer. So of course, having a very like delightful like personality is going to be key when you are in the interview. So make sure you're smiling, don't smile, throughout the whole interview, but make sure that, you are kind of like transferring that like positive energy vibe to the interviewer, because that's what they look for. They look for somebody very bubbly that can like brighten up a customer's day, and like they can walk out happier than they were when they walked in. That sounded good. But yes, that's definitely it. Now that you have this opportunity that has presented itself, you want to make sure you are prepared in order to get the job. So again, make sure you are not nervous walking in. When you walk into the Chase, there's most likely going to be an employee there greeting customers. So just walk up to them, give them a handshake, introduce yourself and say that you are there for an interview. Make sure you do that. You walk in, handshake whoever the first person you see, and introduce yourself. Say that you're there for an interview, because you going up to them shows a lot than you just going into the lobby and sitting down. Alright, so just to summarize, you want to go dressed for success. Go as professional as you can possibly go. Make sure you go with a portfolio and have 3 resumes just in case they don't have it. Highly unlikely, but you always want to just be prepared and be like one step ahead. Make sure you are feeling positive. You walk in confident, like you got the job already. You want to make sure that you practice a lot answering your questions. For example, I had my little sister ask me the questions when I was kind of practicing, just so that, just having somebody else ask you really helps. Try not to be nervous. It's going to be okay. It's just like, it's okay. You want to make sure to ask very great questions. The questions that I asked, I got them from Google. So just look up the best questions to ask in an interview. Also, look up questions that they might ask you for a teller position at Chase. I think that's it. If you have an interview, again, congratulations. You're gonna freaking kill it. And if you have any more questions, please comment them below and I will answer them for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope y'all get that job. Bye.